Take off! It's time for Doug and Ben's Great NASCAR Adventure!
You only got to wait another week, Marshall, and then the race is right back there. So
another week? It's like a couple days. 5 days. By the way, that is live on tape from inside turn 8.
Yes.
So when you're watching this weekend, you see a big gray camper.
Yep.
That's what's been taken.
I'm Ben. That's Doug. We're NasCanucks, the best NASCAR podcast, all on the YouTubes. Sup, Symmetry in the chat. Co-host of Canucks with Guitars, no affiliation.
You're
Anywho's, what?
You're sitting real close there and you're cutting off the pole pad. That's it.
Sure. All right, here.
Drop
there,
that.
I'll be like you.
I know.
Sit on the floor here. I can't sit like this. It's like sitting at a kiddie table. Can't do this. Stop, hip. There we go. Help a fella understand. So this is the October edition. Well, I'm saying it now. It's only the 3rd, but we'll see.
Guess what? Thank you for a very much long building delay. I'm ready to go every Tuesday night here.
Sweet.
Next month.
All right. I'll believe it when I see it. But anywho's and how's. Talking Talladega action after we're in the round of 12 for the Cup guys, round of 8 for the Truck Series, and sewing up the championship in the ARCA just by starting the race this weekend. So that's the 3 stock car series type situation.
Is it 8 or 6 for the trucks?
8.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure I saw an 8 on the fender there in front of the A-arm.
I thought they went down by 2s until Phoenix.
I think it's 8. I don't know. Don't know. Don't care. Really. I'm not in it. So we had trucks running on Saturday, and then we had ARCA Friday night after the Truck Series qualifying, where Fox Sports Racing actually spent the money to fly Phil Parsons from Talladega, Alabama to Salem, Indiana, but not enough to fly Jamie Little as well. She's like, I'm not doing that. But he'll do that. And get the other guy, the guy who does the races she doesn't want to do, like on these little short tracks in the middle of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
So
got something on my screen here.
Yeah, we had what's his name? Love? Yes.
Yep.
I can't remember his first name. But he was pretty all he had to do was start the race to win the title. But then he got the owner's title because apparently more than one person drove the Gibbs 18 this year. So they're, in theory, still battling that out. What's up, Keith H? And so basically, long story short, guess what? The 20 car led every lap of the race. The 2 cars were the class of the field as usual. And after one of the restarts, the 18 car did full send, put it himself into the wall while running second. And then it was a 1 car race. 2 cars on the lead lap at the end of the race.
You know what? NASCAR, Cup Series needs to go old school like that.
I agree. I like to see a good old ass whipping from time to time. No state. Well, they called them race breaks. They weren't stages. Race breaks. 5-minute breaks to work on your cars. The 200 lapper, but at 75 and 125, or have race breaks. Non-competitive pit stops. I'm like, have you seen the ARCA teams? I don't think they've been competitive in years, other than eating. So it's nice to see Will Kimmel out there racing. His dad on the pit box calling the shots like he used to call his brother's cars, which is cool to see. There's a few other people around there, making some young guys, making starts and stuff. And Frankie Muniz just wants the bleeding to stop. Ran top 5 Michigan. Hasn't been able to finish a race since, competitively.
No, I know.
Something breaks all the time. It's just parts failure after parts failure. Poor guy. So, I don't know, Johnny Love. Let's go with that. Whatever his name is. He won. I didn't watch the victory lanes. I'm like, you won 11 times this year. We're good.
Yep.
And if he wins next weekend, he ties Ty Gibbs' record for wins in a season of 11. Which, yeah, you just have to have some money to run that series and win the title. It's like when I saw Austin Dillon, his Twitter account with this 2-time NASCAR champion. Yeah, because Roush didn't field a car that year, or Gibbs didn't really field anybody that year. It's like traditionally, it's usually one or two really competitive cars in the lower series. So easy there, Austin Dillon. Have you ever started a race for a non-family owned team car? Tell me, have you?
Me, no. Him?
No.
He may have. There may have been a time where he went back to the Xfinity or the Truck Series and did it.
Oh, driving the 7 truck. He may have done a start in the 7 truck.
Yeah.
Which is basically an all-star truck. And if you're not competitive in it, you're a dink.
Yeah.
No, well, he's both.
So I was going to say, the first time I seen him race, he was driving the family car.
Yep.
Right? You weren't there for that, but I was there.
I wasn't there. You were there. I wasn't there.
I was there.
Yeah. Then he drove the family truck, and then he drove the family car, then he drove the other family car.
He's just a family man.
Clearly. His wife dresses him. Clearly.
But I know it's your thing now, but the little white patch. You
you got the Sharpie for the autographs. I'm sure. I know it's full of ink because nobody's asking for autographs.
Yeah.
At least he got rid of. He's got the full beard again, but it's the Prince full beard. I'm like, who painted that on you? You don't have that much testosterone to have a 5 o'clock shadow. Wow, it's like George Michael's in the '80s again. I was like, oof, come on, buddy. Got rid of a little Hitler stash, mind you. That's all right. Did I say that? I can't say that on here. Anyways, so that brought us into the truck race where we had 2 Canucks in the field.
Yes.
We had Stuart Friesen, of course, from Niagara on the Lake. Not just on the lake, Ontario.
He's not in. He's not in the lake.
Nope, on
it.
So, and then also racing Jason White out of the Greater Vancouver area. Whistler area. I think he's actually the Whistler
I think
area.
so.
Driving the 22 truck, I want to say, which is not owned by Scott Steckley. But he didn't do well. It's like they showed him during qualifying, and I'm pretty sure that's the only time they mentioned him the rest of the day.
I think so, yeah.
Non-factor, much like Stewart was until he crashed hard. Oh, yeah. Ooh, he went to the hospital.
Has there been any updates on him yet?
I didn't look. I assume he was okay. I think it's just more
transport him for.
Yeah, they probably just want to make sure he didn't crack a sternum because he's like, that hurt. It's like, yeah. Well, turning right at 200 miles an hour, driving into a steel wall will do that to a fella.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Let's say as we get to test the Stafer barrier the next day. Let's see what happens when 2 vehicles turn right at the same time and nail it.
Yeah. Oh. Although I think, and we talked about off air, the hardest hit would be the the rear or front tire? I'm not even sure because the truck went in backwards. But the tire changer for Zane Smith. Holy cow. Wow.
He dented the truck.
And then he kissed the spoiler as well.
He single-handedly Malachi crunched himself.
Oh. Like I was saying, I got the same sort of dent in my truck right now outside, but that was from a cement pillar that I got a little close to.
They build them strong down there, the tire carriers. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, the truck wouldn't stay in gear, and Zane was having all kinds of issues, which he couldn't really afford to do being in the playoffs and all.
Not at all.
But it was interesting, similar to the Cup race. Like, for all it's Talladega and all the points, they kind of shook out the way they were going in. The guys who were below the line were still kind of below the line, but not crazy below the line. But on the other, it's like, Grant Emfinger just kind of did his thing, but it was like there wasn't more than a couple of guys running the top 10 most of the day. They were just all kind of mid-pack because, thankfully it wasn't single lane around the top for an hour, one of those. And then people drop down at the last second to do something. It wasn't one of those. It was just 2 lanes.
Yeah.
And if somebody got shuffled out, okay, then they go to the back, But it's pretty boring. And, I'm not a fan of restrictor plate style pack racing. That's why. And it's like, other than, they're saying, it's a truck series there, you can only bump along, can't lock on. Apparently, you can get penalized for a restart violation, which they never normally call, but they'll call that during the truck race. But apparently, Chandler Smith can lock bumpers for half a lap, and they ain't saying shit.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say there was that one. There was one time where I seen like 2 trucks were like just tied together, and I was like, "What's going on here?" Like it's
right at the end, Chandler Smith. Yeah.
Yep.
Which you can't do that in Xfinity either. So where are you getting that idea? Yeah. Matt D. Benedetto, even though they talked about him a ton, was not missed.
Not at all. Not at all. And he is still yet to say where he's going yet.
I heard he's got a job application in with Timothy Peters there over at UPS.
Okay.
Yeah. Still be driving a truck.
Big brown
full-time
one.
sponsor on the side. Whole season. Same deal.
He'll be driving a big brown one just like his career.
I hear they finally added AC to those trucks.
Yeah, they keep the doors open.
Right. East Coast air conditioning.
Yeah.
According to Uncle Kenny. Yeah. So, yeah. So, other than that,
got a couple red flags.
It wasn't crazy. It wasn't one of those 4 trucks running at the end of the race situations.
No.
We had some issues, but it wasn't like we didn't have the big one that takes out half the field type thing. And
no.
And then I don't know who even won it. I don't even remember who won. I remember.
Well, we talked about that. They brought in Brett Moffitt.
Oh yeah, right.
To be a draft partner with Zane Smith. Zane Smith went for a crap, and then Moffitt was like, "Oh, fine, I'll just win the race."
Right, because fun fact, Moffitt doesn't actually have a ride locked up for next year, so might as well pad the resume with a win. And with Zane Smith moving on, it sounds like for next year, the 38 ride is open when that is a decent truck. When it's not falling apart. Stuff. Yeah. Hitting crew members. Anywho's and house. So yeah.
Yep.
So Brett Moffitt takes away so someone doesn't do the win and you're in at Phoenix alongside who's it? The 19? Is it? Eckes?
Yes.
Or I think has already punched his ticket as it will.
Yep.
Speaking of which, they named somebody's Afro boy there with the petty number. Oh, what's he walks around, he looks like a fucking brown Q-tip. Daniel Dye, that's it.
Okay.
I believe he's going to be running for McNally Racing next year.
Yes, I did hear that they made an announcement. But I just didn't hear what it was. I had missed. Turned on the truck just a little too late.
Yeah.
Only other thing to come out of the weekend with the truck series was the alleged incident.
Oh, it wasn't alleged.
Well, it's an alleged because we didn't see it. No one's seen it.
Okay, you got 2 people getting held apart, and one's very bloodied. Similar to the Jimmy Spencer, Kurt Busch, dare I say, situation. Nobody saw a fight. Spencer had red knuckles, and Kurt Busch had a broken nose. What's up, the voice of Cornhole?
Look up. It's my cohort from Saturday nights.
Well, my cohort from Monday nights here, so it makes sense.
Yep.
Excellent. Sweet. Where's Terry? I have 2 cohorts on Monday nights. Where's my other cohort?
I had the guy that had to take over for me Saturday night because of my internet issue.
Yeah, I noticed your thumbnail that you didn't bother updating, just had the 2 of them on the thumbnail.
Well, I don't do a thumbnail for the live Q&As. I just get a
Clearly.
little lazy for that.
Clearly. Oh,
Well-
that was all the garlic. Anyways. Oh,
Yeah. So Sanchez and Crafton got into it
what's up,
on the
Seth?
track a couple times.
my guest from Sunday night, Doug. I'll see your co-host and up raise you a guest from
Let me
Sunday
just
night
start
show.
messaging people here. No, so so they got into it a couple times on the track,
Yeah.
and then
Which I
and
didn't
then
really
thought,
even notice. Like,
well,
but
the
then
last
again,
one,
Sanchez,
kind of.
I'm going to say it now. Sanchez is a 20-year-old. I'll just drive through them. I don't need to pass cleanly. And you got Matt Crafton, who's a former champion, 47 years old, who's not going to drive like a moron over his head or anything.
Yeah.
Good. You recovered. Excellent.
Well,
yeah,
there was the one time. There was the one time at Daytona that he kind of drove over his head when he did that barrel roll over another car and land on his wheels and keep going.
Well, whatever you got to do to maintain position.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was impressive though. The old victory roll.
Mid race.
Yep. Yeah, he spun around backwards, which caused it to. Yeah. So, apparently the video that I saw, the two of them are being held apart, Sanchez and Crafton. I didn't see Crafton because the big guy over top of him. And Sanchez repeatedly yelling, "I will kill you at Homestead." Clear as a bell. I will kill you at Homestead. And he had the blood. He looked like Dusty Rhodes after a main event, is what I'm going to say. So, he bladed himself like Dusty Rhodes did for a main event. I'm just saying.
Other reason why
Allegedly can't see out of his left eye, broken nose, according to the fanboys in the Chase Elliott fan club, which I call malarkey.
Well, the other reason why you wouldn't have seen Crafton as easily was because he was already in street clothes by then. He was not in his racing uniform.
Fair.
From what I was told.
But also, and according to Sanchez, he was tapped on the shoulder, he turned around and met a fist right in the face. No words given. I don't think that's probably what happened. I'm thinking you did something earlier to piss a man off that usually before changing in street clothes, you grab a quick shower in the hall because you got the shower set up, you get changed, you're thinking about, but you have a cold snack, you kind of come, nope.
Well, that was the second time they've got together. So they got together earlier, just right after the race, apparently.
Oh.
From what I've heard. So, yeah. So, there was that.
So, as a result,
yeah.
Matt Crafton has been fined $25,000 for punching Sanchez, and Sanchez got fined $5,000 for being punched. And it doesn't look good. When the guy's got the barrel hug on you, Doug, taking away, and you find it's his dad. Your dad is dragging you away. Shades of Joey Logano. Shades of Joey. Speaking now Sanchez dad was smart. He grabbed his boy who was and said, "No, let's go." Whereas Logano's dad went, "Here, son, hold my hat," and managed to start using his nose on somebody's face or a fist. And I'm just saying. So, yeah. So apparently, let's see what happens at Homestead. I'm hoping Matt Crafton just twink takes Sanchez out and his playoff hopes.
Sanchez's crew chief even said, come on the air a couple times saying, "Let's not piss people off and make enemies."
Right? Because, and let's see, Crafton out of the playoffs after the first round. Sanchez, in theory, still in the playoffs, but
not anymore.
I'm thinking he's not going to win the title. If Matt Crafton has anything to say, I think we're going to see some post-race or, interviews from Sanchez in the not-too-distant future that are going to be shades of Ross Chastain. Well, I can't fault the guy for doing that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, note to Ross Chastain, you're at the point you probably can actually call out some people now. because you have been accepting full blame for over a calendar year.
Yes,
I will say, because I noticed that when he got knocked out of the race on Sunday, first guy out of the race, he's just like, well, these things happen. Meanwhile, the reporter, did you think you got hit? Did you think because stir the pot. I'm a reporter because stir the pot.
Yeah.
You don't need to stir the pot. Ross stirs it enough for all of us. Easy.
He leading into Sunday, he did go for a hole that was kind of there, then got closed up. Yeah. So and hey, fun fact, not quite a full field, but we actually had 38 cars bother to show up for Sunday's race. Because we had an extra front row car. I know your favorite team on the grid. With what's his name there? Monster Energy. Riley Herbst.
Yeah, it's Riley Herbst. I'm like, really? The man with the worst luck in racing, and you're putting him in a car at Talladega?
Well, he really didn't run that bad.
He ran great. That whole team, Doug. Well, let's
don't go that far.
They were running. Hey, I don't like Gilliland as much as anybody, but they were running top three. They were running top three.
Fluke, but no, he was doing really great until that getting to the finish line at the end.
Which, yeah, go figure. But I was shocked he made it that long because again, he has the worst luck in racing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was He definitely said, hey, that was Riley Herbst's coming out party. I'll say that.
Yeah.
As far as putting his name out there in the Cup Series. And then, of course, we did have a somewhat of a big one during the race because Brad Keselowski was pushing Carson Hocevar. And, oh, no, Carson Hocevar can't hold a straight line, blah, 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 according to us. No. When have you held a straight line, Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh, I won a Daytona 500. Pushed by who? Pushed by who, Austin? Pushed by who? You didn't do it on your own. So
no, and even before that,
we know anybody can win a Daytona 500 once. Just ask Michael McDowell. See what I did there for you, Doug? Around.
Anyway, end of stage one. Eric Jones. When that stage flag flies, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Because then, of course, Truex is the only one. Like, can he have something not go wrong in one race?
No. How he is still in the playoffs is beyond me. Thank God he racked up all those points months ago. Yeah. All he has to do is just keep above the cut line, and then they reset, and he's like, oh yeah, I got a full race advantage again to fuck up over the next 3 weekends. Yeah. But it was interesting. Again, it wasn't like 8 of the top 10 were playoff guys every stage. No. They were spread out through the field. Hamlin got down a lap early. And he said, I was like, oh, these guys got stage points here or there, but it was spread out. And then stage 2, good thing, Brad Keselowski won stage 2.
Yep.
And, ka-ching, I'm going to need those 10 points for later.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And I don't know, and I'm not a Carson Hocevar fan at all, but he's been doing pretty good in that 42 car.
Yep.
A hell of a lot better than Gragson was doing. In fact, that organization overall, since they got rid of Gragson, have been doing a hell of a lot better.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Almost like he was bringing the entire organization down single-handedly.
Yeah. Then it was kind of like up until that end, near the end, to have a big one there again. But
yeah, well then because it got stupid, right? It was like that Keselowski wreck was 30 or so to go.
Yeah,
they had to take a look at the fence because 2 guys hit it at once, and that was hard. And then right at the very end, literally until the tri-oval.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we had 3 cars passing the start finish line because they wrecked from 4th on back.
Yep.
And the whole field wrecked.
My thing is, I would love to be in that meeting this morning at Hendrick when they ask Byron, why did you pull out when you were pushing Chase to leave Chase and Kyle alone at that one time? Because Chase going for the win, he can still get the owners championship.
Well, no, I think it was because Byron said 3 extra playoff points would be nice going into the Final Four.
Yeah, but 3 extra points to the Final Four means nothing.
It's 3 positions on the track.
No, it's not.
Don't they do the ranking into the final race, or do they wipe it completely clean?
No. It's straight up.
Yeah, which is bullshit.
Oh.
You tell me if your boy Martin doesn't make it in the Final Four, you wouldn't like a nice little 12, 15-point cushion, so he only has to finish 8th to win the title? Wouldn't that be nice?
Going into the Final Four, let's have at it. Top guy wins.
Stupid. That's not racing.
So, Blaney gets the win.
That's key. We should rank it all through the playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe for the first round. Rank them for the first round, but after that, it's just wipe them clean, boys.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Or 5 points apiece or something. I don't know.
Blaney gets the win.
Mm-hmm.
And I like what someone asked him afterwards about not doing the big burnout.
Right.
Did you see that?
No.
Because he remembers back to Dale Inman having a conversation with him about not doing a burnout, right? Because you don't see the jockey after the Kentucky Derby go out and start beating the shit out of his horse.
That's true.
Which is kind of what you're doing with doing a burnout.
Yeah, because you got to clean all that shit out, like the rubber everywhere, and it's hard on the motor and the drivetrain. And sure,
no,
I get it. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with him necessarily. Honestly, I'm pulling for Keselowski in the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
I've decided I'm pulling for him, but Blaney, sure, I don't have a problem with that.
I know you're kind
I'm really hoping the 9 car goes winless the rest of the year.
No, I think a lot of people are.
Let's break that streak.
Yeah. So Harvick finishes second, then gets DQ'd.
Temporarily. Right, and then he gets DQ'd.
Yeah.
Another rare occurrence, the post-race disqualification.
Yes.
So wait to see more.
So have you heard anything about that then?
It was to do with the windshield strips that held the windshield in place.
Yeah. So the bolts that hold the windshield in place came loose.
Oh.
Right. So that's what it was.
Okay.
Okay. So they were talking with Rodney Childers about it, and Childers just kind of said, you know what? That's something that we've been, they're having us use the same car every weekend. We just, it's tight. We just didn't think of checking them again.
Right.
That's why.
And somehow they DQ'd the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that.
So other than that, I'm trying to think of news and notes.
Well, so for the last time we got big news like the voice of Cornhole there did say, what about the team acquisitions this year? Yeah. Being the Truck Series, big one. I'm thinking, and we kind of talked, I think it's the death of the Truck Series.
Not necessarily.
Well, it will depend. If they carry on, it could be.
Well, and I mentioned that because with the sale of KBM to Spire, it's not just Kyle Busch Motorsports that's being sold, it's also Kyle Busch Manufacturing that's being sold. So they are buying the capability to build chassis. So, yeah, which I don't know how Spire gets more manufacturer support than Kyle was getting necessarily, but.
Well, I'm hearing that a not so silent partner in all of this is Michael Andretti.
Where's he getting all this money? Because he just built the whole F1 facility outside of India.
So what's that one team that was?
My other co-host finally showed up.
Yeah.
What's up, Terry?
They're one sponsor they've had for a bit this year. It's the one that's giving them all the money. I just forget now.
Sponsoring who?
Sorry?
Sponsoring who?
The Spire, and they're in with Andretti as well.
Is that the Hy-Vee people?
No.
Well, I don't know.
I'll remember it off here.
Probably.
But yeah, so they're breaking a hold because Spire Motorsports spent like $60 million in like a week,
right,
on picking up another charter. And,
so they got 3 now,
and acquiring Kyle Busch.
Or were they running only one of their 2 cars was a charter? No,
I think they had 2 charters. They bought a third.
So who did they buy the third from? Rick Ware Racing?
I think so.
Because Rick has been leasing. He had like fucking 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, no. Live Fast. Or Go Fast, whatever the hell it was.
Oh, the 78?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's that. And we now know who will be driving the 9 car, is it? In the Xfinity Series?
Yes.
I think it's the 9, isn't it? Or the 8? 8 car. 8 car.
The 8 car.
It will not be Noah Gragson.
No,
it will be the Junior Motorsports has pilfered Sammy Smith from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yep. That's quite the move. I'm quite impressed by that move. That's more of a hit to Toyota. As much as anything else, how much the manufacturers are tied in. Because you see it starting in ARCA and going on up. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. So also,
now it's to see who goes into that JGR car.
Yeah. Also, did they name a driver for the 42 in Cup next year yet?
Yes.
Who?
We've talked about it on here.
I forget.
John
we do a show once a month. I may have forgotten. Oh, no, Nemechek. Right. Right.
He's driving.
Right.
Because with the whole move with them to Toyota.
Right. Yes, because I'm hearing things like possibly Zane Smith doing some Cup stuff. I'm hearing Hocevar doing more Cup stuff, and I'm like, where? Nobody's running cars outside the charter teams 9 times out of 10.
They're talking.
Maybe you fuck yourself over with the charters, folks, and we'd have these guys running teams because there would be 40 plus cars every weekend.
I'm kind of hearing Zane Smith to Spire.
Still send people home.
So I'm hearing Zane Smith to Spire as well.
Zane Smith to Spire. Well, who they got right now? They got LaJoie and Ty Dillon.
Yes. I'm not sure if Dillon's locked up for next year, though.
I don't know. Yeah, same. I don't know if LaJoie is.
I think LaJoie might be because he had signed that. I think he signed a multi-year deal when he didn't get the Hendrick ride.
Right. He wasn't going to get the Hendrick ride.
Also hearing Cole Custer back to Cup, possibly.
Oh.
Because Eric Almirola is now not sure if he'll be returning.
Oh.
He has to make up his mind.
Gotcha.
So that'd be Cole Custer to the 10.
Okay. Or do you do an all-star with the 10? Split it between Custer, Herbst, other Ford drivers, Oh, wait. Is there any other Ford development drivers? No. There's less Fords in Xfinity than Toyota.
There's one.
One?
Your favorite driver.
She's still in trucks. She ain't getting no Cup ride. Another 16th place finish. Oh, they just won't let her prove herself there. She is not in top equipment. Really? Because all of her teammates made the playoffs, pretty much. So I don't know. She's too busy gardening. That's her problem. Focus on racing, less on gardening.
Yeah.
Other than that, announced today, Iowa will be on the schedule for next year.
Yep.
And you had heard that both Bristol races will be concrete.
Yes, they'll be both concrete. And next year for the 30th anniversary already
I don't know.
of the Brickyard, they're going back to the oval. No Indy road course.
So more boring racing next year. Yay! Oh, and speaking of boring racing, IndyCar is going back to the Milwaukee Mile. Yay! More single lane racing. Which somebody said, we should bring Cup Series to Milwaukee. Give them a challenge. No.
Yeah. Well,
how about we drop Sonoma and move it to Laguna Seca? Yeah.
Good.
I want to see the Cup cars run on the corkscrew.
Mm-hmm.
Freshly paved. They're going to be looking for some kind of series out there.
And looking at no Canada on the schedule for next year.
No, it sounds like because that was the possibility was with California leaving, that brought in Iowa, and that was possibly also going to be a Montreal date.
Yep.
Which would actually kind of make sense because that's like June 24th. That'd be a week after the Canadian Grand Prix, which is generally second weekend in June traditionally. So you'd still have all the grandstands up. You just have to change all the signage or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just if you're smart, you get one sponsor to sponsor both events. And you cut them a deal because you don't have to create signage for two events. You can just leave it all up.
Yep.
And we'll just do like NASCAR, where it says Indy, those NASCAR over the Indy logo, and you can see the Indy logo still sticking out underneath.
Other race news is the All-Star race back to North Wilkesboro.
Yay. I hope they repave it first.
No, they are. They are going to be repaving it. There's some big race going on just recently or
coming They have a lot of big races going on there. Yeah. A lot of races, period, still.
Yeah.
You get the money out of it. Malls. Yeah.
Only other thing, since our last show, NASCAR lost someone special to everybody. Sherry Pollux lost her battle with cancer.
Right.
I know the one time that I got to meet her without really knowing I was actually meeting her. She was pretty cool. I got to was at a Truex fan club event at the Bass Pro Shop in Concord. They were giving out.
Oh, we got it. Concord, Ontario, not North Carolina.
Huh?
Was it North Carolina or in Ontario?
North Carolina.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to, then specify which, because there's two. There's Bass Pro Shops in Concords in both towns, in both countries.
There's no Bass Pro Shop in Concord, Ontario, is there?
You sure? I'm pretty sure, isn't there?
That's Vaughan. That's Vaughan and Niagara on the Lake.
Well, there we go. Yep. Same thing.
No, so I sat down.
What's west of Concord? Vaughan. Same thing.
Well, just did the 16-hour drive straight through with some other friends down to Charlotte. Totally still wanting to get some sleep, but they were giving out Rockstar energy drinks.
Sure.
So I sat down. There was this older couple at the table. I was talking about how I just did 16-hour drive. We hadn't even gone. All my other friends went and got the beer and the food and everything. They dropped me off at Bass Pro Shop. So they were like, here, have our Rockstar energy drink. So I had 3 in front of me. And then their daughter sat down. We were talking. She was saying how we just came down from Canada. They ended up being from the Michigan area. We were talking for a bit. Yep. Then I was like, oh, I'm going to get up and just stretch my legs for a second. I get up to walk away. And then Martin takes my spot. So that was how I got to meet Sherry Pollux and her parents without actually meeting Sherry Pollux and her parents. And Martin stole my spot at the table.
Don't let them forget it.
No.
So there we are. I don't think I have anything else.
I don't think so either.
All right,
but remember, watch the Robo this week.
Yep.
Turn 8. When you see the big gray camper, That's where you and I should be. We'll know a bunch of people there.
Yep.
It's a very comfortable camper to sleep in when it doesn't have a leak in the roof right above your bed about your forehead.
There's that.
Been there, done that.
You know what you can do with that leaking water, though? Help a fellow that burns his hands.
You could. Just one time. One time. Gonna miss this weekend in Charlotte, Sam. See you, Marcus.